We will discuss about basic service tier details of Azure SQL Managed Instance. Let's start with this particular query where I'm checking server property of engine edition equal to 8. If it turns out to be 8, then it basically tells like the connected instance is an Azure SQL Managed Instance. On the other hand, if it turns out to be something other than 8, it basically tells like it's not an SQL Managed Instance. Let's go ahead and execute it. So I'm connected right now to a general purpose managed instance called jp-dist-mi-pri-si, which is basically in South India region. So let's execute this query. And if you see here, this basically tells like it is an Azure SQL managed instance. As a test, what we'll do is like we will connect to an on-premise SQL server and then try running this particular query. If I run that, it basically tells like it's not an Azure SQL managed instance. Also, let's try executing this query and see what we get as far as on-premise is concerned. It returns a value of 3, and let's do the same thing on managed instance 2 and see what is the value that we are getting. It should be 8, so let's check that. It is definitely 8, yeah. Now we will discuss about T-SQL query using which we can find the service tier of Azure SQL Managed Instance. So here what I'm doing is like I'm basically selecting the top one SKU column from dmv sys.server_resource starts, and I'm ordering that value by end time. So if I execute this particular query, I'm able to see that I'm having a general purpose managed instance. Just to check that, if you look at the Azure portal, this is the managed instance that I have connected in SSMS. If you look at it, the pricing tier is basically showing as general purpose, standard series, Gen 5, 32 GB storage, and 4 vCore. So it is definitely a general purpose managed instance. So a thing to note is like as far as Azure SQL Managed Instances, currently we have general purpose and business critical managed instance in the offerings. This T-SQL query basically provides us the details whether we are connected to a general purpose or a business critical managed instance. For example, if I run this query on a business critical managed instance, it basically tells like it is a business critical managed instance. I have seen instances where a general purpose managed instance is basically deployed at the start and is changed to a business critical and vice versa. And this T-SQL can be really, really handy in checking this particular information. So moving on, we will check the hardware generation of managed instance using this particular T-SQL query. In this T-SQL query, I'm basically selecting the top one value of hardware generation column from dmv sys.server_resource_starts, and I'm ordering it by the end time. So if we run this particular query, we'll be able to understand the hardware generation. And in my case, it is basically Gen 5. Yep, it is really important to know the generation of the hardware that is being used on your Azure SQL Managed Instance. Besides knowing whether you are running the latest and the greatest generation of hardware available, some of the constraints such as RAM limits have been connected to this particular hardware generation. So it is very, very critical to understand. Understanding and checking this information might be important for troubleshooting and or for optimization as far as Azure SQL Managed Instance is concerned. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Jai Hind.